Hello, Malta. As everybody said, good to be here. The same with me, and it's pretty amazing that four women here on a road talk about money. So do I. And as mentioned, all the stages have been covered before: the seed and the angel and the VCs and different sort of VCs. Only stock exchange left, and this is what I'm talking about. And what Funderbeam is a startup stock exchange, a global startup stock exchange. And as this conference is about breaking borders, then there's one more thing what I'm going to tell about, and this is the blockchain. Because and I think the blockchain is the next big thing. So you'll hear about it soon. But before I dig into the stock exchange and blockchain issues, one thing and one thought I want to share with you. I have kids, two sons, 9, and the other one is soon turning 6. And when my 9-year-old son was 7, he told me he's going to visit his friend. I say, okay, please go. Half an hour later, he was at home and playing at his iPad. I asked him, why are you at home? You're supposed to visit your friend. He said, yes, but I'm visiting. I'm playing in his world, in the Minecraft, and we've already built the whole village. So visiting somebody or going somewhere meaning totally different thing for the next generation. And then when my youngest son, he turned 4 and he received a birthday card from my mom through the normal mail. And then Theodore asked, what is this? I said, it's a letter. What do you mean by letter? Letters are coming through computers. So, and this is the point, is that our generation is the interpreter between the past and between the future. So everything what we do is going to have an immense effect in the future, and we even can't imagine what the next generation is feeling or how they live their lives. Right. Startup funding in 2015, the big numbers. And I hope you see also the global map, which means that startup funding in America is just immense compared to deals in Europe and deals in Asia. But what is also interesting, if we look at the numbers, then $113 billion invested into the early stage companies. There are 3 times more early stage companies in the world who get funded than companies listed in global stock exchanges. You name any stock exchange, you count the companies, that 48,000 companies in the world listed in the stock exchange. So these are the numbers we are playing right now. Funding trends in startup industry and all why I'm getting to the stock exchange is that there's right now the tons of capital to fund the growth. And there's very interesting numbers which is comparing the past and comparing the present. eBay, Amazon, and Google, they all raised $6.8 million before they went public. $6.8 million. Facebook raised $2.4 billion before going public. It's not 10 times more, it's even not 100 times more. The difference is big. And the latest investment in Uber, it was $3.5 billion. It's not total investment, it's just one deal. $3.5 billion to Uber. And Uber, totally, they raised $14 billion already. Private capital without even being listed on the stock exchange. So there's something fundamentally wrong with this. Companies don't go to stock exchanges anymore to get the money, the capital for the growth. So the growth capital is coming from the private sources. It's coming from the angels, it's coming from the VCs, it's coming from different syndicates, crowdfunding platforms, but it's not coming from the exchanges. And this is one of the reasons why Funderbeam is built, that the stock exchange needs to be changed, and there needs to be a pre-IPO market and liquidity for this early stage investments. And the second big trend, what I see, is the crowdfunding market. The crowdfunding market is doubling every year. The crowdfunding started 2007-8 when Kickstarter and Indigo were established, and next year, this year actually, 2016, the crowdfunding market expected to be $70 billion. Again, it's a very big shift and a very big money that the crowdfunding platform is playing with. And there's a record of Mondo. They raised £1 million in 96 seconds this year's March. £1 million in 96 seconds. So if somebody tells me the crowd is not the power, then think again. The crowd, it's a power. And when I was talking to NASDAQ one day, and they told me, when I showed the platform, they said, "Oh, wonderful, you built a crowdfunding site." I say, yes, but what is the IPO? IPO is nothing but the crowdfunding, except the rules and regulations are different. So I wouldn't underestimate the crowdfunding and any form of crowdfunding. Now, getting to the stock market and getting to this blockchain. Why I think blockchain is a big thing. If you think of internet, and if you think of the technology of the internet, then what it did, it helped us to exchange the data and exchange the information. It doesn't matter where we are, what format it is, it helps us to exchange the data. And all the solutions we have right now, starting from Uber and Airbnb and Facebook, it's all here because of the internet. Why I think blockchain is the big thing is that the blockchain enables us to exchange values, which is level higher. We can exchange anything we own using this technology. And even though the blockchain is still in the early phases, there's Bitcoin blockchain, and there's the Ethereum blockchain, and there's the Hyperledger. We see that it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's only one thing what the blockchain is solving, or one problem what the blockchain is solving, and this is the trust. The blockchain is the trusted party. It's the open ledger, a trusted ledger, which everybody of us can trust if we exchange the values. So if I sell, I don't know, my house to you, and we record it in the blockchain, then it's there. The trade is there, and nobody can break it. No one. And the next interesting thing on the blockchain is the smart contract and the Ethereum, which already enables to build something on the contracts. So figure out what the blockchain is and figure out the developments built on the blockchain already. So if now we're getting to the stock market participants today, there's an investor at one end and the company who needs the funds on the other end. And all the others are intermediaries in this chain. There's the bank, there's the broker, there's the exchange, there's the clearing and settlement agencies, central bank, depository, state register. And the bigger the market becomes, the more intermediaries there is. The clearing houses and the CCPs and the settlement agents and even the brokers can have different levels. So there's immense amounts of intermediaries. And what they do, they provide you to trust. And because they are the institutions and the trust is provided by the institutions where are human beings, this means that the trading is opened only for an hour. for the certain hours to carry all the functions in the stock exchange. This is the blockchain age. So this means that most of the intermediaries will be cut out because of use of the blockchain. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's time to start thinking about it. There will remain an investor because the fundamentals will never change. There is always somebody who has the capital and always somebody who wants the capital. And there is always a platform who enables to exchange this. But all these kind of intermediaries, do we actually need them anymore? The only intermediary that I've colored differently is the bank. Bank still has some role because we need to have somebody holding our cash or keeping our cash. But that's only a very short term because soon we're going to have cryptocurrencies. And do you know any bank in the world who has started to issue cryptocurrencies? I know none. Maybe just one in Estonia who is kind of flirting with it, LHV Bank and their Cuber. So even the cryptocurrencies and even the future currencies will be built somewhere else, but not in financial sector. And with cryptocurrencies, the trades will be executed and settled within the seconds. Not within minutes, but within seconds. And why the blockchain is again different is that blockchain is for trades cross borders. If we think of just trading within Malta, or trading within Germany or Estonia, we have the notaries and we have the central registers and we have the central parties. But if we start trading cross borders, then who is the central trusted party? And that's what the blockchain is becoming. And the power of technology, and we've shown it in Funderbeam, is that we actually could combine the NASDAQ and the Bloomberg and Angel List all in one. Because we have the data which analyzes the early stage companies and enables to do the soft due diligence and get understanding of how your portfolio is performing. We have the funding platform. You can come and raise funds through Funderbeam, and we have the trading platform. The pretty interesting thing about technology and fintech, and every single fintech company, it's 80% about legal issues. It's about getting the license, and it's about agreements and all this kind of stuff. So what Funderbeam also did, we need to hack the legal structures. And we use the syndicate. So every single startup is invested through the syndicate, and we do trade the syndicate's investments. But this is how we could enable investing and trading cross borders. And the open thing on the trading side is we need to know every single investor. We need to do the KYC, and we need to have an e-identity. So that's why the platform right now is sort of centralized. Everybody who wants to own and invest startups, they can come to Funderbeam from all over the world. We need to identify this person. But the blockchain, it wants to be decentralized. And for this, we need a good e-identity, and all the financial sector needs an e-identity. But nevertheless, the blockchain helps us to trade and exchange values cross-border, and we built the stock exchange, startup stock exchange on the blockchain. It is cross-border startup stock exchange. And the last piece what I share with you is that we've been open for 2 months, and we see professional traders coming to the platform. Those traders whose daily business is to trade on the stock markets. And we asked them why. And they said, you know what, we never had so boring life before. So the change is there. Thank you.